Hello and welcome back to another Factorio tutorial. My name's Negative Root and let's get cracking. Today we're talking about modular and expandable factory designs. They're two, it's two ideas, and basically it all depends on what you want to do. Now let's cover off on what they actually are before we get too far into it. The one on the left is expandable. The one on the right is modular. That would be my opinion. I always think about an expandable factory as it's not finished. You could increase the size of it if you want. A modular one, I kind of think of it as being complete and discrete in itself, and if you plonked it down again, it would be complete. So, with that in mind, let's increase this one. So this is expandable, but it is a modular expandable design. This one, on the other hand, we're going to be building, these bad boys off into the blue yonder. Okay, just like this. And that's how we expand the design. Now, the two differences are that obviously this is more brute force. In my little example here, there are brute force modular designs, and I'm going to show you one very shortly. But I think that this is these are two ideas that new players don't use enough of. They'll get in the game and they'll start creating these crazy zany factories, and it's like spaghetti everywhere. There's like these little belts that go around in circles and around in circles and around in circles, and it's like, then the little player gets on it and it's like, oh my god, you're just making things hard on yourself. Important in the key thing to remember about Factorio: the maps are infinite in size. Let me repeat that. The maps are infinite in size. You can keep running. I could keep running this way forever if I had the computer resources for it, and the game would just keep generating more squares for me. We would just keep going. You'll notice that my map is actually kind of odd looking right now. I've got here, and then I've got a little dog leg, and it actually kind of looks a little bit like a shark. I think it's like, nah. Anyway, so important thing for new players: get your expandable factory design on. So let's go and have a look at a few different things and talk about a few different ideas. Let me just deconstruct this first, though. Now, this is a modular design. Now, it is a bit of a brute force design. You'll notice that it has a large amount of capacity. However, if I was to blueprint this and stick it down somewhere, I could. There's my design. Very, very straightforward, and it took a little bit to build, but it is a modular factory. It's based on certain ratios. For example, this is all balanced so that it works at a flat-out pace, provided it has the materials. Same with these. The entire thing is pretty well limited. I cannot expand this without much difficulty. I'd have to plonk down another one. Now, you'll notice that down here, for my blue science, I have an expandable design. I could potentially, if there wasn't this in the way, just keep going with it and expand it out this way. And that I sometimes do, depending on my build. You'll notice that the labs, again, expandable if there wasn't things in the way. I have expanded them out to these current things. You'll notice that these, again, expandable designs where I can continue, if I want, to build them in this direction. This one the same. I could add another one here and another one here. So it's important to leave yourself the space to do this. That is the key. Space is the key. So when you're new to the game, think, I want to spread out. I want to work in straight lines. I want to keep things simple. The majority of the fixits I see are generally very bendy. For example, in this example here, we have a bit of a bad design where our bus actually does split up and go different ways, and a few different things are happening, which makes it harder than it needs to be. This was a factory from a while ago. I've got a little bit different now. I play a bit of a different way. But generally keeping to straight lines and making sure your factories are either expandable like this in the early game, that's generally the best way of going, or make them easily modular, so something like this or something like this using construction bots. That would be my thoughts on the matter. So there we go, that's modular or expandable factories covered. In the next one, I reckon we're going to talk about efficiency. and a couple of different types of efficiency in the one episode. Hopefully you guys don't get confused. I'm sure you won't though, because this is Factorio after all, and we're all very smart people. So thank you very much for joining me. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.